Welcome back. It is yours truly, Nick, a movie AV Impulse. And while October is very far away, which is the season where everybody comes out with horror videos, and I absolutely love it because me and my wife love horror, especially my wife. And when it comes to horror, I think deep down inside, even if you are not a fan, there is some part of you that wants to watch a horror movie because as a human being, you want to feel like you're not in control. Sometimes when you watch a movie, you just want to feel like, oh my God, what if that was me? These are the movies when I was a kid that literally scared the shit out of me to where I was running under my bed, hiding in my closet, putting covers over me and thinking that the covers were some kind of shield that would make it so that none of these monsters could actually reach me. It's a weird thought to think that your blankets, which is just a piece of fabric, would protect you, but as a kid, there was just something comforting about covering up with the blankets and just closing your eyes and pretending like there was no monster. So these are the movies that literally scared me half to death. And to this day, one of my friends, he won't even go near a clown because of some of these movies as well. But anyways, let's get into that
Makes you
intro. And
think. Makes you think. What's the channel about? What's this really about? It's about teaching life lessons, teaching the youth. It's about top fives, movie reviews. That's what makes you who you are, makes you what you are. There's no rules in this game. There's no parameters. Just truth. So, 2, 3 weeks from now, you're gonna wish you subscribed. 2, 3 weeks from now, you're gonna be looking for movie AV Impulse. Okay, I'm reloaded. Let's go.
now, the first one is not an actual horror movie, but watching this when I was growing up, holy shit, did it scare me because of the fact that this is a guy that was turning into a fly and slowly watching him go through this transformation when I was a kid. This was just like, holy shit, what is going on here? Can this happen to me? And that's going to be The Fly, which this is one of those movies where I desperately want a 4K transfer. But, I don't know if it's ever going to happen. If it does, it does. But for now, we'll just stick with the Blu-ray. But The Fly really scared me as a kid watching this because, like I said, you're just thinking in your head, like, if this can happen to this guy, what's going to happen to me? I used to think like if I got stung by a bee, I was going to turn into a bee because I didn't understand exactly what was going on in this movie, and the practical effects is just mind blowing, especially watching a human fall apart and then just become the fly. Next up on the list, wow, Pennywise growing up, because it was a TV series, while I think Tim Curry did a phenomenal job, he didn't really scare me. He was too nice and friendly. But I'll tell you what did scare the shit out of me when it comes to clowns. It's going to be Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Yes, I know there's a 4K transfer, but I just don't need it at this time. I'm going to stick with the Blu ray. But Killer Clowns, what scared me the most was how they looked, first of all, which I think, again, practical effects. It's just mind blowing, especially in the 80s. They were so good at practical effects in the 80s. This is why I love 80s horror, and I still think to this day, no generation of horror can match up to the 80s. But that's just me. I'm an 80s baby. What do you expect? Really, what it was for me in this, not only watching these people get wrapped up in these cocoons that looked like cotton candy. For me, we used to have carnivals just like everybody else that would come through town. And I always thought, like, oh my God, if this circus or this carnival comes to town and these killer clowns are coming with them, I might end up in a cotton candy cocoon and I might not last. And they're just gonna drink my fluids and drain me. And as a kid, you just get traumatized. And what really traumatized me is when Shorty got into that fight with the guy, put on the boxing gloves, and punched the guy's head off. Like, to me, that was like the scariest shit ever. So, that's another one that just had me running and ducking under the covers as a kid. This next one, if you're a Stephen King fan, like I said, it was more the television type of thing. So while it didn't scare me, I thought it was funny as a kid. What did scare me was Pet Cemetery. Pet Cemetery was crazy because, you start to think to yourself, are there any animals that are buried behind my house or anything like that? I grew up in the projects. I don't know how many people were burying their animals in the backyard or at a pet cemetery. To me, this redefined the reason why I didn't want to have any pets when I was growing up, but, I ended up becoming a pet lover. So, for me, this really scared me, especially black cats, which I was so scared that, I would be walking down the street and boom, a fucking pet would just come crawling out of the grave and like start to chase me down. That's what I thought as a kid. So it's just one of those things where Pet Cemetery just really did it. The next one just scared me in general because, well, I always thought possession is a real thing. Like I've always felt, even as a little kid and watching this movie and seeing Reagan from The Exorcist really go through this transformation of becoming this normal kid to an evil, demon has always scared me. And I used to think that at any time of day, even in school, that I could be possessed and like just start going crazy. But The Exorcist really redefined horror. While I think a lot of it was exaggerated, like when they said that people were going to cinemas and throwing up, and like even as a kid, this didn't make me throw up or get so nauseous that I couldn't watch it. But I was scared, especially when Reagan spun her head around and, the whole crucifix scene that I won't want to mention, which had people in uproar back then. This is just one of those movies that it scares you even to this day. All right, the next one should really come as no surprise. But growing up, what made this even more scary to me was that not only was it a doll, meaning Chucky, because Chucky was the first one that I seen. When you're a kid, it's scary. And for those who don't know, I had a My Buddy doll, and I wasn't scared of the My Buddy doll, but I was petrified of Chucky. And if you don't know what My Buddy was growing up, this was like the staple of dolls, because of Cabbage Patch Kids being such a big hit. Boys had My Buddies. Here's a little commercial clip. Wherever I go, he goes, my buddy, my buddy, my buddy, my buddy, my buddy and me. Welcome, because now that song is going to be stuck in your head all day. But, when I was a kid, Chucky was just like super scary. And I used to always kind of every now and again look at My Buddy doll and be like, is he gonna come alive? And if he does, I'm kicking his ass across the fucking room and I'm hiding under my covers. Next up, the man himself is going to be Freddy. Now, I never watched the original. The very first one I seen was part three, Dream Warriors, and it still remains my favorite one, especially, the scene with the TV.
This is it, Jonathan. Your big breaking TV. Welcome to our time, bitch.
I just loved part three, but just knowing that he could come into your dreams and kill you was just something that I never expected. Here I was thinking when I was asleep, I was safe, and you're not, because Freddy, one, two, Freddy's coming for you. It just redefined the whole scary aspect of something coming in your dreams and literally killing you if you didn't wake up. And I remember having legit nightmares over Freddy, just the claws, everything. But Freddy was not the number one that scared the shit out of me. And I also have a true story that comes with this next movie. So here it is. And that is going to be, and I know the second I show this, boom, you're going to flick off this video, and that's fine. Like, share, and subscribe. There are more videos coming. But to me, and this is only me, when it comes to just pure horror, and I seen this movie when I was 5 years old. So that makes it even more intriguing to a young mind. And that is going to be Halloween 4, the return of Michael Myers, just literally the thumb in the forehead, and then this guy with this blank face that he just walked and caught up to you and killed you, no matter how fast you run. I mean, Michael Myers has always been that one horror icon that literally just made me scared, because while Freddy could come into your dreams, no blanket or no sneaking underneath the bed could save me. In a true story, when I first seen this movie and I seen that scene and then I seen what Michael Myers looked like with the mask on, I literally ran under my bed so fast and slid under my bed that I actually bumped my head in the back, which I still have a little scar from since I was a kid, and I was literally gushing blood. And my stepfather at the time, my mom and my stepfather had to pull me from underneath the bed because regardless of how much I was bleeding, I didn't want Michael Myers to come and kill me. And that is a true story, ladies and gentlemen. But anyways, tell me some of your crazy, you were just petrified as a kid of the icon killer or the movie that really had you like running in fear. Let me know down in the comments. And like I said before, make sure you guys subscribe. When I get to 1,000 subscribers, I am going to be doing 3 giveaways, and it's going to depend on the tier that we are all going to be, whether it's a 25, 50, or $100 gift card to Amazon to purchase whatever you want. Anyways, thanks for watching. I appreciate the support. And if you like the merch, hats, shirts, everything, all one link down below will link you to everything from my social media to my t-shirt websites and merchandise. Thank you for your support, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.
Thank you. You love me. You really love me.